Alright guys, I just want to give you some final thoughts on your first introduction to Photoshop. Hope you enjoyed everything so far. I just wanted to share one or two last tools with you guys. One of them would be the cropping tool. Most of the time, beginning photographers will take really good photos that have good exposure and good lighting, but their composition isn't always great. So one of the great tools that you have in here is the crop tool, and it's this little, it looks like two right angles that are slapped together with a line cutting through, and the shortcut C. So what you can do is you can go and click on that tool and grab it, and then up here you're going to have some options for what size that you want to do it at. So 5x7, probably one of the more common ones, 16:9 if you're doing anything with film. But then again, you have these options, which are sometimes some more print-ready sizes if you're just at your house. So 8.5x11 would commonly be a regular sheet of paper. And what's cool about this crop tool is you have a couple different options. So if your image isn't straight, you can grab this little straighten button here. And even though this image is straight, I'll just show you what it does. So you would click and drag, and you'll notice if I do it at an angle, it'll spin my image as if it needed to be straightened. So if I wanted to straighten this again, I could grab this and I'll go down to the actual base of the photo and follow the line, and there we are. We're back to a straight image. What I like to do is I like to use this golden spiral. Now, if you're a rule of thirds person, or if you like to use the golden ratio, where it's a different mathematical formula than the rule of thirds, or this triangle or diagonal or grid set, that's fine. But I like this golden spiral. It makes it easier to follow. And all you have to do is whatever point you want to focus in on, or your audience to focus in on, is to just grab this tight spiral right here and put that at the focus point. So let me zoom out here real quick. And I'm just going to pick her eye as my focus point. So there it is. That spiral right there runs around her eye. And just hit enter. And there you go. You have a nice, tight, clean, cropped image, and it's perfectly composed. I'm going to Command Z back out of this. If we wanted to do more of a landscape style, I can come over here and grab this, drag this out, and I'm going to rotate this. Oh, not my image. I just want to rotate the crop. So let me come over here, and I'm going to switch my thing. See how this says 9, this is 16? I can flip-flop that, and it will automatically give me a landscape version. I would really like to turn this image right now for some reason. So what we can do is grab the center of this, and again, using the golden spiral, stick it on the eyeball, and it's going to be different. Hit enter, and there you go. Obviously, I'm not going to use this photo because it's got her eyeballs in the bottom lower third, but the composition is still great, which is what's kind of cool about this. So if I Command Z, and let's say I wanted to do that again, but I want the golden spiral in a different area, I can go ahead and say, you know what, maybe I want the arc here to represent her forehead. So I'm going to use that, and see how this arc lines right up against both of her eyes, and then just touches the top of that ear, which is the last focus point on her face, and we still have a full picture of her face. We're going to hit enter and see what we got. That's great. So you can use this golden spiral tool in a lot of different ways. The spiral is really helpful for when you're doing vertical portraits and placing it on eyes, but if you're going to do something horizontal, try to get that arc to come right over both eyes and just kiss the top of your subject's ears. And you're going to want to keep, obviously, the mouth and the chin pretty close to inside the frame, and you're going to end up with a great cropped photo just like this. One other tool that I just want to show you, I'm going to Command Z and go back before we move on, is this dodge tool and the burn tool. So this dodge tool is going to let you lighten certain areas, and you're going to want to pay really close attention to your exposure level up here, because if this is really high, you're going to get a really hot exposure like this, which you don't want. And if you're going to use the burn tool, it does just the opposite. I'm going to make this a little bigger. It's going to darken your image. It's going to lower your exposure. So not something that you want to get really radical with, but if you have your exposure set just right, if I can speak, you're going to be able to darken an image if you've gotten a little bit too hot of an image and you want to lower the lighting down. So pretty cool stuff. If you want to learn more about Adobe Photoshop, think about taking the 72 Tools Learn Photoshop course that I offer. It goes in depth over every single one of these tools on the left hand side, and even all these subsets down here. And I go through all the tool parameters up in the top and how to use it on a photo to do your retouching. So just want to thank you guys for taking my intro Photoshop course. Hope it's helped you, and look to see you around.